it will probably be faster just to go into Photoshop and make a quick selection and use the gradient tool and put in some quick gradients and maybe break it up a little bit. Um, but you have to try stuff out. And yeah, another thing I like about Art Rage is that if you just, I think it's if you right click, you just hide everything else, like all the menus, except for the reference you have, and that's really cool. Well, you can do that as well in Photoshop. Just press the F key, but the shortcuts are set up a little bit more nicely here, I think. And also, if you have a menu in the way of your brush stroke, when you brush over it or get really close to that menu or window, it will disappear and make you so that you can see your line. That's also a very cool feature that Photoshop doesn't have. It's very artistic, very nice. And here I'm just using the knife tool just to smudge out that watercolor a little bit, because I felt it was too I was getting a little bit too much texture in there because I was painting stroke on top of stroke. And so here, well, I felt that the watercolor was a little bit too much. It had a little bit too much texture, and it was a little bit too confusing. You should be very concerned about that the background doesn't catch any attention. It shouldn't catch attention from your design, from your character or creature or whatever you're designing. It shouldn't catch any attention from that. It should just make the creature stand out and makes it look nice. And I think that much texture in the background just caught a little bit too much attention. So here I'm trying to go in with with the oil colors instead, with the oil painting tool, because that has a little bit more flat. That's a little bit more flat, and it's because it doesn't have transparency on it, and I really like that. And still, it has a little bit of texture to it. You can see like the way the brush goes, and I kind of like that. That's cool. It has some streaks in it. So here, just painting this one color in, and later you see that I mix those two. I mix the watercolor with with the oil color in the layers, so that it has a little bit of both. But really, you shouldn't spend that much time on. Well, you should spend time on presenting your work, but not too much time, as I do here. But I don't really care with this project, because sometimes it's just really nice to do this kind of stuff, because I'm just putting on some nice music. Usually when I'm doing these kind of fantasy designs, I'm putting on some or just character designs in general. Actually, I'm just putting on some what's it called, soundtrack music from fantasy films or sci-fi films, like Star Wars or Lord of the Rings, or I don't know, like I have some music from Avatar and Pirates of the Caribbean and movies like that, because uh, I think that it was Ian McCaig that said in one of his videos that that you know, soundtrack music is made for images, and so they also inspire to images, or he said something like that. Probably he said it better. I think he did. But anyway, he is totally right. I mean, I couldn't do this. I couldn't design listening to the music I normally listen to. Um, when I'm drawing, I'm listening to completely different music, like the soundtrack music, because it's just, you know, when you don't have these songs that you hear in every day, these tunes that, you know, get stuck in your head, you know, you get really or I get really distracted by that kind of music, and soundtrack music is not that distracting because it's made to back up images, so it makes space for the images, and makes images in your head also, and that can inspire you to do your work. So I definitely recommend listening to soundtrack music while making your designs. Just a tip. And here I'm mixing the layers and opacity, kind of making them work together. I didn't want it to be that strong. I didn't want it to be black because you should be aware that the background doesn't have as much shift in value as your design. It should have less of a gradient in value than your design and your rendering has. And so here you can see I sort of found the right mixture of the opacity of the layers, and now I am going in with some colors. Yeah, and I'm really sorry because you can't really see how the colors are in this video. Um, Red is always getting fucked up when you try to compress the image or the video. Um, so it looks much more I don't know, vibrant than it did when I painted it. Um, Sorry about that. So you can't really trust the colors here, but anyway, it's gonna be red. You can trust on that. And when deciding on the colors for your creature or your character, just think about like color symbolism. Like for example, red. I think red symbolizes rage and blood and danger and war and, you know, all of those yeah crazy things, and that has some kind of relation to evil, or at least you know, I just think it fitted very well to my creature. Uh, also it's a color of love and romance and erotica, but never mind that. That was not what I was thinking about. But it's a color of rage and anger and blood and war and yeah, all of that. And also, it's a long time since I've made a red design. Uh, my most recent designs have all been like green and blue, and so I thought it was just a good time to make something red.